What up, Pittsburgh Steelers fans? Matty P, Marky D. It is time. The Steelers preseason is basically over. It is roster cutdown time. Here we go, predicting the 53 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Marky D, I'm excited. How are you? And also, what did you think, just quickly, of the final preseason matchup against the Atlanta Falcons?
Thought it was really good and really boring. Like, honestly, I'm like, it's made
I might
me
say
angry
it was a game of two halves. I hate that cliche, but it sort of felt like to me.
The first half was really fun. Came out firing, took them apart. Second half, I was like, what am I doing? Why am I streaming this? Why am I watching this? It was boring. No offense to Mason Rudolph and all the guys. And Trubisky's just not fun. He's not fun to watch. There's nothing fun
I'm on
about
the
Trubisky.
Mason Rudolph train. I just think he's more better to watch. I mean, Trubisky did
he's
have the
good,
scramble, but I mean, that's about it.
But nothing was like entertaining or like nothing happened.
You know what it is? There's no tempo to it.
Yeah, it's just
he's like Jay Cutler. He's like a cheap Jay Cutler.
God, he was boring, man.
He's like a
I don't want
cheap
to be too
Jay
negative,
Cutler.
but like Kenny Pickett was throwing dimes down to DJ and a nice pass to Pickens. You're like, wow, let's go. Then
Like, and that
Trubisky
pass that was on the deep pass that was penalized, the one going to Gunner, I was nowhere near him.
Yeah. I think they penalized Calvin Austin. They held Austin.
Yeah.
But still, they.
But that's what. But it didn't matter. I'm just saying that was nowhere near.
Because it was over.
I was never going to catch that. Like, it was never happening. Like, it was just not happening. Like, no.
I'm just glad that we have our quarterback now with Pickett, and Trubisky is number 2. Or we can maybe discuss that. But to me, I think it's going to be 2 and 3. And I'm just like, nothing exciting happened. And like the Falcons too, I thought they're boring as well. There was no one.
Their commentators were going on. Look, they rested a lot of key players. Like Calais Campbell, and I don't recall seeing Bijan Robinson on the field and Tyler Algier, but like they kept going on about how their team was going to be so much better and win the division. I'm like, you're versing the second stringers basically for the Steelers, and you're down 24-0. Like, nah.
They didn't score 1 point. Did they
Heineke looked awful for them. Awful.
Yeah, big time. And I know they're playing our ones or some of our ones too, and I understand that, and it's preseason, but at the same time, I don't care. It's a football game. Like the first half was a real football game for the Steelers, and they had no one there because they didn't have the depth. But they also gave a shout out to Kendrick Green. They thought he was the best thing since.
I know, and they called him 6'4". Kendrick Green's not 6'4".
Yeah, they said he was a sneaky superstar or something like that.
Yeah, and they were like, he's Mike Tomlin's secret weapon and his favorite player.
No.
I'm like, are you serious?
But how is the disconnect though? Because like he was a villain, then he turned a hero when he was fullback. Now he's back to a villain. It's like it's funny how these guys from the Falcons don't even see what's going on. Fans like us, we know what's happening. He's a big potential to be cut. They was talking all this stuff about him, made no sense. I don't know, dude. I was a bit over the commentators.
I ended the takeaway show for this game with the fact the Steelers are ready for the season. Like, that's abundantly clear. And as fans, we're ready. Like, I'm so done with preseason football and camp.
Yeah,
I just want to see. I just want to see. I heard a little bit on your post game on Steeler, like on Steeler Nation Australia, and like exactly. I'm done. It's time for the season. So with that in mind, let's get to the 53. We're going to bring up our trusty depth chart. So if you're a new sub to the channel, we have run a depth chart through a lot of the off season. And we're going to continue that through the season as things chop and change. We're going to try and keep this to, we can, about 40 minutes for everyone. Otherwise, save you guys too long a show. We might get to the practice squad. We might not. We'll see how we go. But Mark, I think it makes sense to start off with the quarterbacks. I've got Tanner Morgan lit up in blue from when we did this last time a bit earlier. I think it was back in May or June. Tanner Morgan is in blue because that at the time denoted someone that was going to be on the practice squad. There's no chance he takes Mason Rudolph's spot as third quarterback.
None. And there's actually no guarantees he actually makes the practice squad either.
Exactly.
To be honest. Has he looked good this season? Not at all. Like I haven't seen one. Did he throw the ball past 25 yards or 15 yards?
I think 12. I think 12 was his furthest.
Yeah, there's when they cut Chris Oladukin, so they might cut him too. They might cut him and then bring someone else in. To be honest.
Yeah, I don't see it.
They might go and get a vet. You never know. They might get another vet.
Yeah, I don't even think they need to. Particularly with the new rules about the 3 quarterbacks and having them on the active day roster. Like, I don't think it's.
Yeah, so you reckon he's cut? You reckon he's gone off the 16? Yeah, could be a possibility, right?
what I don't know why you would keep him. Sometimes the Steelers have had 2 quarterbacks on the roster, then 1 on the practice squad. So I don't know why.
You only keep him for him to develop into like a trade target or like to develop into behind Kenny,
he ain't
right?
developing, man.
No, so he's probably we've cut him from the 53 and the practice squad.
Yeah. See ya. Bye. Bye. He's a corner.
Morgan.
All right, let's move on to halfback, running back. Despite all the dumb narratives we've seen, and the dumb narrative we're probably going to hear about, as you said to me off air, Anthony McFarland Jr., the number one running back
got the most yards.
Surely this is the 4. This is the 4.
Has to be. Yes, has to be. To me, Harris is number 1. That's probably the most stupidest narrative I think I heard all year, and I heard a lot this year.
Don't you love, though, that in this game, all 3 starting running backs, I'm going to call them starting running backs because that's their primary job, that they all got TDs? I love that.
Yeah, McFarland tried really hard, too, on his TD, too, to the end zone.
Yeah, he fought for the extra yards.
Yeah, he did well. Harris played really well, and everyone's calling him a bast. He can't do this, he can't do that, and he shows up and plays some good reps. And I even saw that someone said they need him to prove himself. I was like, dude, it's Najee Harris. He's proved himself. He's fine. So there is no competition. It's one of the laziest takes and stupidest takes I've seen all year. He's number 1. Deal with it. It really is. So that's fine to me. Connor Hayward looked pretty fun too. Run on the rock, didn't he?
He did. I think he's just this perfect Swiss Army knife for them now. Really, I think it's good stuff from him. Tight end, I don't see any changes there because Hayward will be the 4th tight end. Rodney Williams, maybe he gets onto the practice squad.
Good though. Yeah,
I know. That's what I mean. You feel bad for him, but I think
do because he had a good catch and he made a move. He made, I think, 2 special teams tackles. Him and Gentry, they might swap, but they probably won't. Like, it's going to be Gentry, I think. Rodney Williams has had a pretty good camp, what I've read and saw too. And then you see in the game, I think last week he made a few tackles, or 2 tackles, or 1 tackle last week. And then today he made a team's tackle as well. And he's looked pretty good. Let's be honest. And there's no room for him.
He'd be a really nice guy on the practice squad, I reckon, with an injury.
Yeah. So if he makes it, he's going to be one to that. But then do you cut Gentry? Probably not. Like, he's good with Frymouth and they have that chemistry, that kind of stuff.
The fact there's no proper fullback on the I think Hayward's going to be a proper fullback. But the fact that there was no one competing for that fullback spot, I think they're cool keeping 3 on the roster with Freeman.
And what did Gentry sign? Gentry signed a 1-year deal, right?
Yeah, he did a 1-year RFA.
Yeah.
He's a UFA or an RFA, but it was about 1.1 million, like a vet minimum kind of thing.
Yeah. So I think Rodney's done enough to make the squad. And you will see.
I've written him down on my little notepad if we can get to the practice squad rather than me flicking around the 2 different spreadsheets.
Yep.
But, We'll see if we can get there. All right, wide receiver. This is one that we've talked about a little bit through the off season on different shows. I'll just say I don't think Jordan Bird's going to be making the 53. I
didn't see enough.
I think maybe the practice squad, but I don't see it. So bye to him. They
didn't play him enough. They didn't give enough snaps or reps, and that's also an indication if they're going to play, right? So you didn't see that at all.
Exactly. What do you think Boykin makes it? Do you think they carry 6?
If he plays teams, he can, because he also caught a few passes too. I think he was in like the 3rd team this game with Boykin. Shesky, you know how I'm on Shesky. I think he makes it. And it's not because I like him. It's just because I've figured out why they're using him, and he can block. So maybe I will warm up to Shesky. I'm not saying he needs to be a superstar. Our mate, no one you know, said that Mike wants him to be future Hall of Famer. I'm like,
I love that. I saw that.
I'm not saying that,
but I think he can do. You know what is a good comparison? It's not Switzer. I think he can be like that Ray McLeod role for Big Ben, but better.
Yeah.
I think he's more
the way he runs is pretty physical. The way he blocks, like for a smaller guy, he points of attack, he hits them pretty hard. Like, he does a few things that go, okay, he's now behind CA3 as a punt return guy. There's so many things like schematically you go, he makes a lot of sense making the team. That's why I put him there. And then they cut the other blokes, you know.
Oh, sorry, I was going to say they can afford to take 6 because they've only got 3 RBs as well. So they can definitely afford the 6 wide receivers.
But if they do 5, I don't know what you do. Do you cut Boykin and keep Shesky? Or do you do vice versa? If they have 5. But most times they do 6, right?
Yeah. To me, I'd keep Boykin. But if all the reasons you've outlined on the different shows that you've done it on this channel and your channel, like, I think I mean, Oshesky.
They played him a lot. They played him like, I think, last week, 70% of the time. You tell me they're going to play a guy that much and not make the team?
Yeah, I know.
That's a lot. If I was Shesky, I'd be like, are you kidding?
Yeah, exactly.
I've played so much for you guys. Now you cut me.
And they've invested in him too. Like, they cut him, they can save money, but they still have a dead cap hit. I think of like 1 million.
Yeah, I reckon they go 6. Boykin plays teams. He'll play receiver if he has to.
Yeah.
And you'll see Shesky playing some role in there in certain runs and screens and stuff like that in Austin. I think Shesky got a screen today too, pass, I think, maybe. Or was that Warren? Maybe Warren got that. Not too sure.
Yeah.
But that's my 6 anyway. Is that your 6?
Yeah. I think that I don't think there's anyone surprised. The only thing for me is if someone else gets cut from another team that they really like, and then Boykin gets swapped out there. But based on who's on the roster right now, to me, that's the 6. Agreed. All right, now we get to the offensive line. Now, the highlights here were D. Cook I had as being cut because it was red. Red denote definite cut or injury. Orange was fighting to stay on the team. Green was a lock for the team, either team or practice squad. Blue was for practice squad. Now, we can reorder these as we talk about it. I guess, do you have Dan Moore starting over Broderick Jones to start the season?
100%. Yep. I've said it a few times, and I'm not going to go into too much detail. I just think he does, to be honest. I think he's a veteran guy. He's been playing pretty well. Why would you want to rush Jones straight away? Just for me, I think you go with that 5 is my 5.
Now, what do you reckon about Kevin Dotson? Because
interesting one.
It is an issue when we haven't seen him that much this preseason. I don't even feel like did he even play today? I feel like I didn't see him.
I don't know.
And Kendrick Green, you know what else was weird? Green played right guard for basically the whole game. And Spencer Anderson, who I like at right guard, was playing on the left, which was pretty interesting as well.
Was Colin playing center? He must have been playing center.
McCollum was 62. He played center for like basically at least 3 quarters, maybe even 3.5 quarters of the game.
Yeah.
And it wasn't bad from him, but I did talk about it on my takeaway show, and people can go back and listen to that if they missed it, that I still think the backup center role is a big problem for the Steelers. It's the weakest link on the offense right now. Anything happens to Mason Cole, we're up, creek.
Well, the same thing they might find someone because they're going to cut. All these players get cut, right? So
they're going to have to. I think they have to. Yeah.
There was talk about. I saw someone on another podcast talk about if JC Hassanauer gets cut, he might come back. Could be a possibility.
If he's not going to make it, isn't he with the Giants? I think he's with the Giants.
Yeah, I thought at one stage I thought he was with us, but I don't know where he is. But
I think he's with the Giants. But if he's not going to make it there, he's not going to make it with us.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, if other teams cut someone, we might bring him in and say he can be our backup.
I think McCollum did a good enough job, and he's a bigger body than Hassanauer. Like, I don't think Hassanauer's big enough. But I also thought Cook, in fairness to him, he didn't look too bad today.
I don't even remember seeing Cook, to be honest, but I'll take your word for it.
I think it was 6 wearing 60 because I looked him up. I was like, who's 60?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. He was so hard. You just saw him around the ball when something was happening. Something that's usually like a good sign. Unless they're doing something horrible, it's usually a sign they're making some contribution. I'm going to take him off here. I'm going to put Spencer Anderson somewhere. I mean, we can swap the order for McCollum.
A lot of people have Anderson making the team over Green as well. They have him making the team in the 9 offensive line guys they take. We got 5, 6, 7, 8.
I'm going to count how many we've got on the offense. Right. So we've got 18 on the offense right now before we get to the line. So, you're going to have it probably take, I don't know. So that's 9 guys right there with McCollum and Green, the outcast. But it depends what they do with Dotson. Like what's going on there?
Also, there's been is there some trade talks? Is that more just like I
mean, I've been validating it because I think he's got a year left. He's got start like he's.
But is that from the fan base or is that from the actual organization? It's from the fan, right?
Yeah.
I thought they would take 9. I thought they'd have 9 offensive linemen.
They can take 9. They can definitely take 9.
So what's that? 9? That'd be 26 total players. 25.
I think we've got 20. Oh, actually, because I've got Hayward 3 times here. That's where it gets complicated with my calculation.
Okay.
So if I go 18, it's actually 16 because he's listed twice. So 16 plus 9 would be 25 if they took 9.
That's what I'd do. I'd do probably Jones, Dotson, Anderson, Herbig. See you later, mate. 4 backups. Goodbye, Green.
Bye, Green.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think he has to be.
And then
gone,
McCollum
right?
to the practice squad.
Yeah, just cut Green in total. What do you think? That's what I think. Anyway, I'd keep the see what Anderson do. But you're right. There's still the backup center position is kind of like.
I mean, if Kendrick Green can be waved through to the practice squad, you'd put him on the practice squad. That's a good experience to have on the practice squad.
Going from starting center to practice squad, oh boy.
But then he can always be picked up by another team. But I don't know. Like, I mean, if this is the case, then Herbig is probably the backup center as well, if not Siamalo.
Well, they were saying, I think, on the Steelers Nation radio, they were saying that Anderson can play a variety of positions.
He can play all 5. I just think he's better as a right guard.
That's what I heard from Craig Wolfley was talking about that as well.
Oh, was he? Well, he must be listening to my shows because I've been saying that since he was drafted.
Oh, he had it in reference to Tunch Ilk and how he played all 5.
Yeah.
So it was in reference to him. So, but I think they have 9. Have our starters. We don't need to rush Jones, to be honest, dude. He'll be there in 5 years, 2 years, fine. Start there more. Let him work his way in.
Hey, imagine if like Anderson and that's the other thing too. If they move Dotson, Kendrick Green stays on here, right? But imagine if they Jones turns into something. Dan Moore, we saw at right tackle for a little bit. Dan Moore, after this season, they can move a core forward pretty cheaply, right? And a lot of teams would take a core forward. So I think Dan Moore, right hit tackle is where he could end up. But you could say this draft, they end up with Broderick Jones and Spencer Anderson. Even if Spencer Anderson's a depth piece for years to come, that's a very good draft to get 2 cheap offensive linemen.
Dan Moore must be thinking, what do I have to keep doing to have some recognition from the Steelers fan base?
Yeah.
He's not too bad. He's good. He's okay. There's nothing wrong with him.
All right, let's start with the
that was 25, right? Wasn't it 25?
Yeah, 20. 25.
Sweet. We get 25 here, then we're even. Okay, cool.
Let's start off with the special teams. I guess it's the battle.
Is there a battle, Harvin?
Man had a better game today.
He did have a good kick, didn't he? I think Harvin does directional kicks though pretty well, but Harvin's got a bigger leg. Sorry, man's
got a bigger leg. Yeah,
man's got a bigger leg. Sorry, yes, Harvin does the better. I think maybe directional kicks. So he got 1 in the 10. I wouldn't be shocked. I'm saying I don't know. I honestly don't know. I wouldn't be shocked if either made it.
It's R53, right? So we can get cranky when they don't pick guys we've said
over a punter.
Maybe, but if you're picking the team today, who are you picking?
I think Harvin makes it because the 3 worked well together. That's all I'm going off. That's the only.
So he wins it off being the holder
because he's been there longer, stuff like that. But man, he had a man.
But if you were picking the team, who are you picking?
I wouldn't mind seeing Man just playing because he had a pretty big punt today. It's huge, and they ran right down the field and got the tackle. And it was like a 58-yard punt.
Let's put Man there.
You want to put Man there? Okay. Change it up. We don't know. I don't know.
We don't have to be right.
See you, Harvin. Oh, that looks weird. Boswell, Man. Man and Kuntz together. long Kuntz. That's so much better than the other one. Kuntz,
B-Man and Sequence.
Oh, jeez.
I also credit where credit's due to Potter. Potter's had a decent.
But he missed today. Did he miss? Was that Boswell? No, he missed one, didn't he? Dude, yeah. The biggest one for me, I think, is it. Man, and I wouldn't, if I was Harvin, I wouldn't feel that safe.
No.
Would you? Because that pump was pretty good. Like it went, see you later, 58 yards, good coverage. If he can do that directional and get into the corners, coffin corner punts, that's a pretty big leg.
Especially if the wind carries it in Pittsburgh.
If Tomlin sees, true, because there was indoors, right? If Tomlin sees that and they want to go a different direction with that and have changed the field,
that's what I'm saying. Presley Harvin could be on the practice squad.
I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if they change, to be honest.
Well, let's see. Maybe we predict it here. Maybe I'll make it the title of the show. Steelers. All right, let's keep the fun stuff on cornerbacks. What the hell are we doing with the? This is probably the position it's changed from inside linebacker. Difficult. Defensive tackle is. I don't know.
What are you doing? What are you doing with the defensive line in general? Like, to me, you have. How many do you think they're going to have on D line? I think they're going to have 6. I think they're going to have 6, right?
It depends. Well, maybe 7, including Liao, because of his versatility elsewhere. I'm just seeing how many we've got right now. We've got 32. We're at 32 players here that we need to whittle down to 25. So,
we could do it that way as well. We could just tick them
off.
Well,
why don't we do defensive backs first, and then we can.
Yeah, it might be easier.
Yeah, we can work it out that way. All right. Neil Fitzpatrick, I think, are locks with Kazi.
Correct. Those 4. Killebrew, he's in there for sure.
He's there for special teams. Now, I said it on my takeaway show. I think Kenny Robinson will be the most unlucky player not to make.
Yeah, I heard you say that. He played pretty well the whole 3 games as well.
And he played well in training camp.
Like, saw 41 run around all kind. He got had a tackle today, I think I saw, but he saw him run around crazy all day today.
I'm keeping him over Norwood on the squad right now. Like, I'm putting Norwood on the practice squad or cutting him over Kenny Robinson.
I think Norwood's gone.
You think Norwood's gone? Like, not even practice.
I think he's gone. Yeah, I already know my guys for safety. I think Elijah Riley stays, and I think Sullivan stays. I think we are both doing them a disservice if we don't have Sullivan and Riley on the same team.
Well, so I think Riley will be listed as the 4th cornerback over Pierre.
Yeah, but he can also.
I know, but what I'm saying, the 5 cornerbacks are Peterson, Wallace, Porter Jr., Sullivan, Riley.
Okay. But he can play safety too, though.
He can play safety,
and he plays the slot role as well, because we saw.
That's what I'm saying. So I think you can have him basically like that, and then
he's too important to this. I think to this team or the way how he plays that you can't cut him. You can't not the way he's playing.
He's there. I think he's locked the squad. And
even last year,
was talking about him as well.
Yeah, last year when he was playing too, he had a bit of like, hey, this guy's pretty good, you know.
Yeah, he Sullivan took 2 or 3 games, and then he sort of. And he's big too. I think he's like 6'2". He's definitely over 6'1". Yeah.
Sullivan played really well today too. Almost got another pass break up on the outside. So that's why I think you keep those dudes there. And of course, that's the one that, people said to you, we need a slot corner. It's like, we have our guy with Sullivan. He's
that's 10 defensive backs.
That's what I had on my thing. I don't have.
No, actually, 10 because Riley's twice. It's Kenny Robinson. That's the one that I'm like. I think it'll be practice squad, and I think it's so unfair. I think he's had a really good.
No, it's only 9 because you got rid of Pierre. You need Pierre in there to make. You got Riley twice.
Yeah, but show me 11. So like Riley twice would make it 10.
Wait.
Yeah, it's 10. It's 10. It's 10. Peterson, Wallace, Porter Jr., Sullivan.
You don't have Pierre making it at all? Jeez. I had him in mind. as cornerback.
Well, he might make it over Kenny Robinson. That's the thing.
Okay, so the only one we want to have different from what I did, I had Pierre. Then
look, you're probably right. I just don't like it. I don't like him. I hate him.
I don't want to be right. I'm just like, I just think
I don't like him. I'm
trying to think what the Steelers do. You know what I mean?
I know, but I'd rather them have safeties.
I know, but we can't think like that. You can't. Because we know what they're going to do. We know because he plays a bit of the gunner role too sometimes, right? He does, doesn't he? Plays the gunner. He can be the backup.
Hopefully he'll get injured and then he
played a lot of snaps.
If Trice was here, he's not there. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
if Trice was here, he's not there.
That's a good call. And then like with the Kenny Robinson stuff, they might put him on the practice squad because is he ready to play in where does he play on teams, that kind of stuff. I'm just trying to think like they would think.
At the moment, if I was picking the team, I don't know if I'd be picking Killebrew over Kenny Robinson, but I'm just saying.
Killebrew is one of those dudes. I think he just made the team because he's made it before in the past.
Yeah, he's the specialist guy. He's the Jordan Dangerfield. He's the
modern
Jordan Dangerfield.
Yeah, he just filled in that role, right?
Yeah.
So, do we even see Killebrew make plays this season?
I don't know.
Preseason?
Probably not.
I don't think so.
Oh, no, he did. He was in there today on the special teams. Oh, it was special teams, though. It wasn't.
Let me see if they made.
He had a big tackle against the Bucks, I think. Yeah.
I'm only putting him in there because he made it last time. Excuse me.
I don't like it. I don't like Pierre.
You think if they put Kenny Pickett? Sorry, oh my goodness, Kenny Robinson on the practice squad, he might be taken. The possibility.
Because he sat there a little bit last year as well.
Right. You never know though. If they cut, if they cut Pierre, they could go that way.
Yeah.
But you're right because Killebrew is playing Dangerfield's role, 100%, 110%.
All right, let's move to linebacker. I lost on.
So we got how many? We got 10 there. Did we get 10?
We got 10 and 10. Yeah.
Dude, there's no tackles from Killebrew at all. None today. None.
Keep Kenny Robinson. That's all I'm saying.
None.
Kenny.
All right.
All right.
Moving on to. Oh, I think someone's the easiest one out of all of them. To be honest,
I think Muse is gone. I actually
really. You think he's gone too? You reckon?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. How many linebackers do you have then?
8.
Okay. So what you've done? Okay. In my one, I had Muse, and we're going to have more defensive linemen. Then you're going to have 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go with that then, because if you think he's gone,
they've kept 7. They've kept 7 before. Muse could be on the practice squad. He's not making the squad.
Okay. Let's go that direction because the way I did on my one, I had Muse and I had 6.
And then I don't think Roche's making the squad. He had a better game today, but he's still a shot at the practice squad, but I don't think he's here.
Yeah.
I actually think A-Rob is number 2, though.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's Holcomb and E. Roberts.
I think it's and I really am really happy with Holcomb. Yeah. Manny Jones, I don't even know if he's still on the roster. He was back there from when we did this ages ago. So we'll just kick him out.
This is the hard part.
There's 8 guys here. I mean, I don't know. Like
Benton, Haywood, Ogunjobi stay. Leal stays. I think. Fahoko, to me, he stays. Then it's between, I think Loudermilk stays, and I think it's between Armin Watson and Marcus Adams.
So you're going to Loudermilk over Adams, really?
I think so. But that's because, in the one I did for 6, I think I put in Fahoko, Benton, Haywood, Joby.
Do you think Fahoko's really earned it? I mean, he's the only true nose tackle on the roster.
I think he'll play for the starting role. I think it'll be Haywood, Fahoko, and Ogunjobi, and then Benton will come in sparingly, and you'll see bits of like Leal and Loudermilk. But I had 6. I had 6 players, not 7.
It's just they've usually carried 7, and they need to anyway with Haywood and the fact that Benton and Leal are so fresh.
So, well, then who would you get rid of then if you're carrying
Loudermilk?
7? Really, you're going to keep Watts over that? We'll push Loudermilk on the practice squad.
Yeah.
Okay. He has been playing. I've been hearing some good reports though from like Steelers.
Well, then it's Armin. But then Adams will save you like $2 million in cap space.
So
this is really hard.
But then where do you start? I think even didn't Travis Adams talk about the other day that he might be cut or something? He had an interview.
Did he? I didn't hear.
I think he said something like that. He said the younger guys could take his spot. This is the point where we have so many good players that I think are going for the role in this point. Because I like our linebackers, man. Those 9 linebackers we got.
I wonder what Armin Watts' preseason stats are like. It's just hard because no site collates all of them.
Yeah, he had a tackle today, I think, and he had he was forcing almost a sack, but then he didn't get it.
Let me see if my PFF subscription.
But I remember watching Loudermilk and Leal playing together. They were doing quite well. I saw Fahoko do a few things in there, but I just know that from camp and what they were talking about him and just the interviews he was doing, that he was saying how he can take on 2 blockers and his role with the team and stuff like that. It can be the run stopper for Fahoko, the big men in the middle kind of thing. Haywood, Job on the outside, linebackers run through the middle. but then you saw lots of Leal play too. So to me, it would be like on the guys look on the outside in would be Watts and Montravius Adams. That's just what I think. What do I know? Right, but I went with 6, so you're going with 7. So you're taking away.
Usually have taken 7. That's the thing.
Hmm.
I don't have any stats in for.
Because you're probably right. Because you could have Herbig, Robinson, maybe Alexander playing teams, or you know what I mean? Like that's 3 guys playing teams.
Yeah.
If James Pierre makes it, he plays teams. That's 4. Joey Porter, I saw him do some. I don't know what not the gunner, but the reverse gunner. I don't know what you call that. The guy that.
See, Armand Watts had a 72.4 grade for PFF against the Bucks and a 60 against Buffalo. And Travius Adams, let's see what he had. I thought he had a game he had a 44.3 and a 63.5.
How many players do we need to get rid of? 2?
1. And then
what about?
I feel like they're going to keep Loudermilk because of what they invested in him in the draft still. Like, because it's only his 3rd year. His ratings actually surprised me right now, what he's done so far.
Yeah, I think he was playing better from the games I saw this preseason and then like articles I read and stuff. So man. Do you just like cut Watts and have those 7? Either way, I like the depth. I think it's fantastic. I think it's great.
It is good. I don't know, man. Like,
so I actually like the linebacking core is my favorite. I think out of the whole team, every single linebacker can hit, all of them.
They can all play. Travis Adams goes.
Yeah, it could do.
Because Armand Watts had 2 quarterback hits according to PFF against Tampa Bay. He got the hurry against Buffalo.
Yeah, he was in the backfield today too.
His pass rush grade was really good both games, over 70. All right, let's do it. Let's pump Montravius Adams. I mean, I said that all off season because of the salary cap, so I'm fine with that.
So who's your starting 3?
Starting 3, I think, will be. I think Benton's done enough to start, dude. I would have
you reckon?
Hayward, Benton, Ogunjobi, or I would have Ogunjobi, Leal, Hayward.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
And if it's a run play to kick off, then you just throw in Fehoko in there.
We're going to see some changes anyway, I think. With like, you're going to see Hayward and Ogunjobi on the field a lot, and then you're going to see someone come in.
Yeah, we've got 26.
You might see that.
We've got 26 didn't you talk about that Riley's twice. That's the 53.
Didn't you see that 4-man like front with the DEs? You might see stuff like that too.
Yeah.
You might see Hayward, Ogunjobi, Leal, and Benton. I don't know. Them all together. All the big fellas up front. So taking care of business.
So let's run through it, and then I don't know, maybe in 5 minutes for about 5 minutes, we can try and put together some practice squad. But I think it's hard to spend too much time there because we're going to pick up guys that are cut from other teams that they liked and other guys we've seen previously in black and gold. But Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky, Mason Rudolph, no surprises there. Najee Harris, Jalen Warren, Anthony McFarland Jr., Connor Hayward. I feel so much better about that group as well than what you did even at the start of the offseason.
Good.
Tight end, Freemuth, Washington, Gentry, Hayward. Hayward's probably 3rd if you're looking at receiving TEs. Wide receivers, we've picked 6 with the caveat that Boykin might end up on the practice squad and they bring in someone else. But Johnson, Pickens, Robinson, Oshesky, Boykin, Calvin Austin. Calvin Austin being the 4th in the depth chart. We've just broken it out by slot. Offensive line, we are staying and starting with Dan Moore Jr., backed up by Broderick Jones. Left guard, we've kept Dotson in. If they move Dotson, then maybe Kendrick Green can stay on the roster. But Isaac Siamalu starts with Mason Cole at center, James Daniels at right guard, Okorafor at right tackle. Again, this line looks a lot better on the field and on paper than what we thought. Nick Herbig is a backup there. A lot of people have him as the backup center. Ryan McCollum, I don't think there's a spot for him right now unless they have him pegged over Green, even if they move Dotson. And then we've got Spencer Anderson in there. I've listed him at right guard because I think that's his best spot, but he can flex all over the line. And maybe having him as backup center for a year helps in them slowly getting him attuned to center. Special teams, we stick with Boswell and Christian Kuntz, Marky D's favorite player.
100%.
And we punt the punter. We punt Presley Harvin. We bring in Braden, man.
To me, it's 50-50. It really is.
Yeah, this is probably the biggest call in the whole roster.
Mm-hmm. It wouldn't shock me if Man, you go, oh, Man make the team. Oh, you got cut. Wouldn't shock me. I'd be like, okay, move on. Let's
go. Slot corner, we have, strong safety, Keanu Neal, Killebrew. Free safety, Fitzpatrick, Kazi, Riley. Riley also becomes the backup slot corner. It's Shannon Sullivan just starting slot corner. He's done everything to deserve that.
He has
Peterson, Wallace, Porter Jr. in that order. Pierre is the fourth guy, not in the slot. Disappointing to see Kenny Robinson not make the roster, but he's going to be there on the practice squad. Then we move to outside linebackers, Herbig, Watt, Highsmith, Golden, all makes sense. Holcomb, E-Rob, Quan Alexander, Mark Robinson, and inside. Defensive end, Benton can play both, but we're going to list Hayward, Ogunjobi, Liao. Then inside, interior defensive line, we're going Benton, Watts, Loudermilk for Hoko. When Travis Adams gets cut and saves the Steelers $1.5 to $2 million on the salary cap, which is very, very helpful for them. Marky D, that's 53.
I'm just going to say shout out to Omar Khan. That's it. He's done really well getting the players in here.
You know what? You want to go back to when we did this the first time?
Yes.
This was the fucking pardon my language. This is the roster rather than practice squad, right? Like, and obviously we've evolved in the presentation of it, but the wide receivers were Johnson, Pickens. Oh, we added Pickens in after the draft, right? So anyone that's a draft pick in this
before the draft.
This is before the draft, but somehow Pickens is in here. I don't know why. But anyway, I'll take him out, right? So we had Deontay Johnson. We didn't. This is before we even signed Allen Robinson.
Right? Pickens year 2, bro.
Oh yeah, he's 2. Then he was there. What am I talking about? Sorry, this has lost me completely.
He's that good. That's why.
Yeah. Deontay. I know you keep thinking he's a yeah. So Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, Cody White were our wide receivers. And then on the other side, we had Anthony Miller, Calvin Austin, but we didn't know anything about what Calvin Austin was doing. The halfbacks have stayed the same apart from Master Teague.
He's gone.
He'd gone a long time ago. We didn't even have Gentry there because he wasn't signed. We didn't have Darnell Washington.
True.
We didn't know whether Hayward was going to take the fullback spot or not take the fullback spot. Mason Rudolph wasn't signed, so the third quarterback was still a question mark. Dan Moore was there.
Anthony Miller's at slot.
Yeah, man. This is what the roster looked like. This is what the line was. Now, the line is the same, but now we know what that line looks like. We didn't have a Spencer Anderson. We didn't have, a Broderick Jones. So that's changed heaps. And then, this has all changed too. The special teams is pretty much the same. Obviously, we didn't have Braden Mount or else at this time. We had Patrick Peterson. We're still relying on Keller Witherspoon.
That blew up as well. He was had a bit of a hissy fit, and now he's in the Ravens.
Yeah,
he was our slot. We needed a slot guy, then we found one. This
is huge. Look at the starting linebackers we had.
Hey, Crowder as well was in there.
But Crowder and Roche, we didn't have Nick Herbig, Nick Herbig, the sack machine, and we didn't have Marcus Golden.
Nope.
We didn't have Benton, man. We were relying on what's his name, Wren and Loudermilk and Adams. No Fahoko, no Armand Watts, no Benton.
Wow. That was before the draft, right?
This is 20th of March.
Changed heaps. Now we. That's what I'm saying. Shout out to Omar Khan because they've done a lot.
This was after the first week of free agency, basically.
Yeah, because you got the.
Just before the trade for Allen Robinson.
Peterson was in there. Ciamalo was another big sign. Holcomb stuff, yeah. But that's a good call.
So
Potty Balm, he's gone too.
He's
retired. Crazy how the narrative changes, doesn't it?
Yeah. I want to ask you this just quickly. Remember when we did the AFC North All Stars? Would you change any of the Steelers in here?
Change any Steelers? No. Do we have? Is Kenny Pickett for quarterback?
He's there with Burrow.
Okay, that makes sense. Oh, you know what? If we're going off health, I'd put Kenny Pickett number 1.
Yeah.
That's it. Screw.
You know what else
I really. What's that?
I'd actually have Herbig over Golden now.
Yeah, that makes sense. But like, I'll tell you what, man. I think it was. You got 200 yards. You got 13 or 15, 2 TDs, and 88% completion was Kenny Pickett all off season. Like, why do people keep doubting him? He's doing fantastic work, Kenny Pickett.
You know, the other thing, I put Calvin Austin over Devin Duvernay as well.
Yeah, he's been excellent, hasn't he? Every return, he just cuts on 1 foot and goes straight.
That's unreal.
Yeah, he's playing real good. They really have turned this roster around. They have a true 53. Whoever's going to be 53, if it's ours or whatnot, it's going to be good.
Yeah, exactly.
Your mic's a bit fuzzy, or is it my mic? No?
It might be my mic. In my back?
Yeah, it's good now. It's good.
Good. Yeah. Well, I think that's going to wrap up this week's Steelers Touchdown Under. That's our 53. I like it, Marky D. I really like it. It's a much better 53 than last year.
I've been saying all week, man, are you not entertained? Like, the guy from Gladiator?
Yeah.
Like, seriously, dude. What more do you want? Like, everything's happened the right way. Do we have a team now? It's healthy. It's Pickett, second year. I just don't know what Steelers fans want. What do you want? Like, this is what I want.
You know what it's going to be? They're going to average 25, 26 points per game. It's like this team should be averaging 30 points a game. That's what it's going to
be. I'm happy if they average 24 or whatever, because if Brock Purdy's not, they're not scoring 21 points. I just don't see it. Sorry, I don't see it. Brock Purdy.
Out of 10, what do you think the chances are they go 4-0 to start the season?
I'm going to say 10. I reckon they do it. I reckon they can do it, actually.
I reckon they're a much better chance of going 4-0 than people realize.
Think about it. They can not shock, or some would say shock, but you're at home, the crowd's crazy. It's your first game in 8 years at home. You beat the 49ers. 49ers is a good team, but like just a quarterback who's like a guy, right? Saying it. You verse the Browns. You beat up on them. You have a great team, Monday Night Football. Then you go to the Raiders and you shock them. You win that game 17-14. I don't know, something just like that. Then you come back to the Texans, right?
Yeah.
And you win that game too. Why not?
Yeah.
I just don't see how we're out of it with all the star players. All the veterans you have. CMR, veteran. Peterson, veteran.
They play away to the Texans, don't they? I think they play away.
Yeah,
to the Texans.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? You have all the veterans, man. Like what? I just don't understand what more people want. They want Fitzpatrick's a veteran. Sullivan's played really well. O'Reilly's getting himself into the game. Highsmith is doing really well. Herbig's doing really. It's just what more do you want? I don't know. I don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say anymore. I need to see a game, like you said. You need to see a real game and shut the media up. Colin Cowherd is calling out Kenny. He's not a leader. Can't do this. Doesn't matter. This is like
Colin Cowherd. Colin Cowherd, wasn't he a couple of weeks ago saying that Dwayne Haskins was the most unlucky quarterback?
He said that Dwayne couldn't win one. These people are nuts. Like, these media guys, they must be doing it on purpose, because in reality, this team is good from back to front. Omar Khan has done so many good things. The signings, the Washington, the way they're playing. I don't understand why we can't be competitive this year and why the Steelers can't win some playoff games. Yeah. And why would the 49ers be favorite? Why are they favorite? Don't understand.
100%. With that, we're going to wrap up.
One second. Do you actually think they're going to score more than 20 points on this defense? Home opening day? Like, you're going to see Purdy run down the field and score 28 points?
Maybe 21, but not 20. Not like 25.
Not a lot.
Yeah.
It's a joke, mate. It's a joke. All right. That's it.
All right. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go.
Here we go. Go Steelers. Let's go. Let's pump up. Get hyped.